All right, April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, and the numbers are alarming. You got to listen to this. So reports show distracted driving is a factor in up to 30% of deadly crashes, claiming more than 11,000 lives each year. So joining us, we have David Reich with the National Road Safety Foundation here to give us some insight. Thanks for being here, David.
Sure.
So let's start with the big picture here. How dangerous is distracted driving?
Well, as you mentioned, a distraction is a factor in as much as 30% of all fatal crashes. So that means nationwide we're losing as many as 13,500 people every year on something that is totally preventable. Bring it down a little closer to home. In DC, 45 people died in crashes in 2023, which are the latest figures we have. Of those, we estimate about a dozen were from distraction. Virginia, about 230 people died from distraction-related crashes, and in Maryland, it was about 150. So it's a lot of totally needless tragedy for something that is totally preventable.
Yeah, we got to bring those numbers down. And most people think of texting behind the wheel, but what are some other common distractions we might not even realize?
Yeah, everybody thinks of cell phones, and cell phones are a very big factor. But other factors could be other people in the car, especially for teen drivers who are less experienced. Other people in the car can be a major distraction, but that's even so for adults. Also doing things like eating or drinking or fiddling with the radio or your GPS. These are all things that can take your eyes and your mind off the road. And even if you look down, say at a text, or you're looking for something on the seat next to you, and you look down for 3 or 4 seconds, at highway speeds, in 3 or 4 seconds, you've gone the length of a football field. So you can just imagine how dangerous that is, driving that distance basically with your eyes closed.
Yeah. Thanks for putting that into perspective there. So what can parents do now that you mentioned teens, them being at risk? What could they say to these young drivers?
Parents need to talk to their kids, talk to them about all types of distraction, certainly cell phones, but all the other things that can be a distraction. The National Road Safety Foundation has a great resource called the Passport to Safe Driving, and it's got some tips, and it has some conversation starters so that parents can have that talk with their kids about being safe drivers and not being distracted. Also, it's on parents to set a good example. I mean, a lot of parents say, oh, my kids don't listen to what I say. Whether or not that's true, that's another story, but they do watch, they see what we do. So if they see us over the years texting while we're driving, or speeding, or doing other dangerous things, they may know it's the wrong thing to do, but at the same time, they could very logically think, well, hey, if mom or dad does that, I guess it's okay. So it's on us as the adults, as the parents, to be good role models, not just when our kids are going for their license, but for years and years before, because they're watching us, they see what we do.
That is extremely important. Thank you so much, David, for all of that information there. That's all the time that we have. Thank you for being here.
Sure thing. Bye-bye.